Good morning. I'm Karen Torontis with Social U, and it's time for What's Up Wednesday, where we come to you live every week to talk about social media tips, tricks, and trends. It's Mental Health Month. So, all this month, we are talking about how to deal with things online and protect your mental health. We are specifically today talking about burnout. Hold on, let me back up a little bit. Identifying and removing toxic social media habits. So basically unfollowing the drama. I've gotten a lot better about doing this, especially in the last few years. There's just so much stuff online that is overwhelming. So I try to be very aware of it. But you have to be aware of your social media habits before you can make sure that they're positively or negatively contributing to your life, causing your stress and anxiety. So first and foremost, let's identify 10 toxic social media habits. There's signs of toxic social media habits. So if these apply to you, it's time to take action to protect your mental health. Mindless scrolling. You frequently find yourself spending excessive amounts of time scrolling through feeds without a specific purpose, often losing track of time. Negative comparisons. You consistently compare your life achievements or appearance to others, curated online personas, leading to feelings of inadequacy or low self-esteem or even envy. This is particularly prevalent in younger viewers. They are more likely to compare and less likely to understand that all this stuff is curated. It's photoshopped. It's filtered, incredibly filtered. So seeking validation, your mood and self-worth become heavily dependent on your numbers, likes, comments. This is so severe. Horror movies are made about it. So it doesn't matter. The infinite numbers of people online who have negative or positive things to say, you're still just you at the end of the day. FOMO, we're going to talk about FOMO in more depth next week, but fear of missing out, where you experience significant anxiety or distress at the thought of missing out on what others are doing online. It works. It's a marketing technique. People will do live streaming from conferences and events and live shows, so you feel like you're missing out. You don't want to look away. Neglecting your real life relationships. It is very frustrating to me to be out with a friend and they won't look up from their phone. I hate that. Why are you hanging out with me? You could be doing this at home by yourself. You prioritize online interactions over spending quality time with your friends and family in real life, in person. I feel this. I feel that way about, wishing somebody happy birthday on Facebook. That's great. But if I know them in real life, I'm just going to tell them. Yeah. Sleep disruption. You use social media late into the night and it disrupts your sleep patterns and leads to fatigue. There's a reason you need to set your phone so your screen shifts so that your brain can start to turn off. It does help. Increased irritability or anxiety. You feel anxious, restless when you can't check out social media. Your palms itch. Now, have I experienced this one in particular? Absolutely, because this is what I do for work and I am constantly researching, looking. I'm always looking. So sometimes you do feel that I should be online feeling, but if I'm with friends or family and it's someone I enjoy spending time with, I just let my phone sit. That's fine. And as it should be. Decreased productivity. You can use it as a reward, but a lot of people use it as an interference, and it messes with your ability to focus on the task at hand, work or your life. Cyber stalking or unhealthy monitoring. You should not obsessively check the profiles of ex-partners, rivals. And that's easy for me to say because when I was younger, we didn't have the ability to do that. We could still call and hang up. I'm dating myself. You can call and hang up. You drive past their house. But now it's just so easy to see what's happening in someone else's life. I'm quick to block. Like, I don't need to see that stuff. If it's going to stress me out, I don't want it around me. And posting for the wrong reason, when you feel compelled to share every detail of your life online, that's attention seeking. And you guys know what I'm talking about. And Facebook is one of the most, guilty platforms, just because that's where a lot of people interact. Pray for me and they won't tell you why, or hey, we're at the hospital and they don't say why. It's so people will ask them what's going on. It's very attention seeking behavior. Yikes. You have to recognize these patterns, and is really the first step to make positive changes. So how do you avoid some of this? If you know you're having issues, how do you avoid it? Well, it's split. You have personal and professional. Personal, you want to pay attention to what you like and dislike. You need to set boundaries by stepping away. Like, there are certain times of the day I cannot get online because I know I'll go down the rabbit hole. So I have to save it for if I'm, just as an example, lunch, that might be okay. Or when I get done with my work, then I can kind of do it. I do the same thing with books. Like, I can totally go down the rabbit hole with a book. So I don't want to do that. So I set these boundaries for myself. Reduce your posting and scrolling. When I get super frustrated, like during election years, it's just overwhelming. There's so much noise coming from both sides. A lot of times I will temporarily halt, temporarily snooze. Facebook allows you to snooze for 30 days. When it's too much. You want to spend more time connecting with people in person. Always a good idea. And practice gratitude. Practice spending time by yourself. I think a very common issue, especially the younger the user, they don't know how to be bored. It used to drive me I have a child and would drive carpool, did it for years. And I insisted on, in the van, I'm not getting any kind of movie device in the van, because if you can't get from home to the store in 5 minutes, if you can't be bored for 5 minutes, you're in big trouble. And I'm, looking back on it, glad I did it that way, because so many kids, they cannot be not entertained constantly. And it's becoming problematic. You are actually reducing their attention span and basically teaching them how to have a short attention span, attention deficit. So sometimes you just have to step away from it. It's a good idea. Now, for business, I can't totally let it go for business. You don't have a choice. I have to be on it. So you need to, if it's for work, you need to know how long it takes you, so that you're spending as long as you need, but not more than you need. You got to know what makes you money. If doing research on TikTok is helpful for your business, that's great. If it's not, reduce the time you spend there. Recognize when you need help. If you were getting overwhelmed and this is becoming too much, you need to recognize when you need to ask, and then actually ask for the help. Creating automatic replies can be super helpful, especially on Facebook. If you get the same questions over and over, preload answers to the questions and set up your AI feature on your messenger so you don't have to constantly check it. Especially if you know you're not going to respond to Facebook messages, send an automatic message. We only check this once a week, or we only check this once a day. If you need immediate response, you need to email, call, text, however you want them to reach out to you. Reevaluate your platforms and eliminate what isn't working. This is the main reason you have Google Analytics. You need to find out where your referrals are coming from, where your click-throughs are coming from. So you spend more time on those platforms and less time on what doesn't make you money. You definitely need a plan, and that's a more proactive step to take. If you go to our website, we have a pop-up. You can download our content calendar for free. We're happy to share it, and this helps you create the plan you need, so you're not just floundering, wasting your time when you're creating your content. You also want to have a crisis plan. What do you do in case of? What do you do in case of medical emergency, death in the family? What does that look like for you, for your business? Verify that your current systems in place are working. Schedule time to be online, and when it's not on the schedule, don't do it. Maintaining these healthy habits, including limiting your comment responses, can be tremendously helpful for your mental health. If you have a video that blows up and you get 1,000 comments, it's almost impossible to answer them all. It's overwhelming. So set a timer, respond where you can, and let the rest of it go. Again, all month long, we're going to be talking about mental health. Next week, we're going to really get into fear of missing out, so that it's much more controllable and not so overwhelming for everybody. And I can't remember the last week off the top of my head, but it'll be, awesome naturally. So you guys, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave a comment on any of our videos, or you can always DM us directly. We do monitor. And until next week, I am Karen Terradas with Social U, and I'm here to help. Thanks.